Cyclone Uesi is now in the Tasman Sea. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us. We are tracking the Category 2 storm. It might be Category 1 by the end of today as it moves southwards away from New Caledonia and towards Lord Howe Island, which is a small Australian island with about 400 to 800 people on it at the moment, just between Brisbane and Auckland in this area here. So the storm is moving directly towards that. You can't see it on the map, it's too small. And then it tracks down into the Tasman, southern Tasman area and towards the lower South Island. So it's got a journey. It's not really affecting Australia other than Lord Howe Island out here in the Tasman Sea. And as you can see, it is clearing away from New Caledonia. But the last thing I wanted to focus on is while it's moving away from New Caledonia, look how it is pulling down that tropical air at the same time. Now that tropical warmth is moving towards New Zealand, and if you thought it was hot the last couple of days in the north and some other areas inland, it's about to get even hotter because the humidity is on the way, even if you miss out on the storm and the rain. So this is how we look for the end of the working week, Friday. It is halfway between Sydney and Auckland, probably more on the Sydney side, not quite halfway, but it's in the middle part of the Tasman Sea, and it is tracking towards central areas of the Tasman over the next sort of 24 hours. You can see that humid airflow between New Caledonia and Cape Reinga, so it is moving slowly southwards, that more humid airflow. You're probably already starting to notice it. The overnight temperatures will be going up. The daytime highs will feel hotter because of the added humidity in there. So we're not done with summer just yet. High pressure dominates though, and so therefore it stays dry. On Saturday, still dry over the North Island, but notice the isobars. That's the more humid northerly to northeasterly wind coming down across the country. So it's going to be hotter this weekend as the storm just sits out there to the west. Quite an impressive looking system. Unbelievably frustrating for the North Island with, drought zones spreading right down over much of the island and this system just offshore. And there's another one next week which could be offshore out to the east. So we have to wait a little bit longer, but there's a wee bit of positive news for northern New Zealand as a result of this. And I'll show you in a couple of days' time. I'll show you today, but in a couple of maps' time. So let's move on. Let's get to Sunday. In comes the storm. So Cyclone Uesi, it'll be an ex-cyclone by then, moving in towards Fiordland. All these isobars, those are damaging hurricane force winds, but for the most part, they are actually out at sea and coming in towards Fiordland and the national parks. So main centres, not quite so affected by this storm, but campers and trampers, anyone around Fiordland, Westland, and really from about Queenstown, Otago towards the mountains, you're definitely looking at some severe weather coming in. The rain will become heavy and the winds pick up a little bit as we go through Sunday. Sorry, North Islanders, it remains dry for the most part, but here's that bit of positive twist I just talked about. We're going to see more showers. Now, showers are very hit and miss, and they certainly don't reverse a drought, although they can do if you get them for weeks at a time. We're going to get a little bit of isolated relief here and there as the showers start to build behind this storm. So as we get into next week on Monday, you can see it's still unraveling, and in fact, this storm could be around for a few days. Mostly offshore though, that's why it's not really going to be causing a lot of concern, I don't think, across the main centres. But the rain on the west coast will be coming and going. At the moment, the early estimates are 120 to 150 millimetres, which is nothing like what you just had, but it's still worth watching. It could still cause some flooding issues over there. The other bit of good news, we're not expecting much spillover into the eastern side, and a couple of isolated showers around the North Island. Sorry, you're still really looking mostly dry. And we get through till Tuesday of next week, and we've still got that warm airflow, a couple of showers coming down. These showers are actually drifting a little bit closer to the North Island, and it just sets up the North Island to maybe having a better chance of showers towards the end of the month. It's still not the silver bullet to reverse the drought, but any kind of relief would be welcome, I'm sure, by now, especially for those who are on very limited water supply. So as you can see, Tuesday, more showers on the western side, the storm dropping down into the Southern Ocean, and our final map for Wednesday shows that storm, the remnants of Uesi moving away from New Zealand, well away from us. However, because it pulled down that humid airflow, there is humidity sitting around the North Island, and that does encourage showers. Some of them could be heavy. So while it's not what you all want, it's better than nothing at all. And I do hear for some of you talking about facial eczema, but I think this will be good news for most farmers and growers to just get some downpours popping up towards the end of the month. But as you can see, there's still a great big area that is looking dry or mainly dry for the next 2 weeks. We'll have a news update for that at Weather Watch later on Thursday afternoon if you're tracking the drought and you want more information. The last thing before I go, we do have an animation. If you go to our website, you go to our news page, or just check out the news section of our app, you can see an animation of Uesi as it moves in towards the western side of the South Island over the next couple of days. So you can find that and other maps and information by going to weatherwatch.co.nz, or please download our free app. I'm back again tomorrow with the latest before the weekend.